arms forward into the nose, out through the mouth. Start paying attention to your body, your breath. Right now it's just about the shoulders. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Let's go ahead and reverse that and go upward. Let's go ahead and go opposite directions. Reverse. Crossing. Hands up underneath, small turns. Top of the spine, little tiny turns. You don't want to torque this one too much at all. Take a little bigger step, reach. Bend to the knees, forward and back. Forward, circle back, forward, circle back. Other direction, circle back, circle forward. Okay, lift up a knee, lock the ankle in place, find your balance, loose circles but ankle tight. And look at your foot, see if you're actually doing a circle. If you're not, it's okay, but just observe it. Like mine used to be like more of an oval or a square or something. I had a bit of a hiccup. Other direction. Now you just go straight in and out. Hinge that knee a little bit. Get used to the motion it's going to be doing today. Shake it out, pull up the other foot, lock the ankle in place, make that circle. Should feel nice and loose without the ankle flopping around. Sometimes that takes a little while to get a little tense. Other direction. Now in and out. Shake it out. Leg locked out. This time the knee is locked, the ankle's loose. Draw circles with your toe if you want. Try to keep that knee in place. Other direction. Up and down. Toes. Other foot. Other direction. Up and down. Toes. Shake it out. Move in place. Let's keep everything moving together. We'll start with some knee lifts. Left, right leg up to the palm. I think we know the drill. 1, relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to the side, left side or right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go right behind us, left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, swirl the hips around. Compare your right to your left side, your right hip to your left, other direction. You have a tightness. Yeah, maybe a little bit lower back on the left side. It's good to know that. Okay, so take that side, stretch it out a little bit. Let's go to the other side. Now let's get the body a little bit used to work. So sweep it out to a horse. And what we're going to do is try to make this stuff comfortable instead of a chore. There's advantages to both depending on how your mind is set up and how you think. You guys have trained martial arts long enough. Think about a time when you got complimented with a movement. They say, wow, you do that movement really good. I can guarantee you, you weren't even trying, practicing, and it was a smooth movement, and you were like, didn't even think, hey, I do that pretty well. But you weren't going, nobody compliments you. Hey, they say, nice effort, but they don't say, your movements are looking good. As a young instructor, I heard that so much from other students talking to them. I learned to take a part of the effort off and then just act like it's relaxed and do it. And I started getting those compliments. Now, a sword has two sides usually, right? Depending on what sword you have, the other side cuts just as well. Well, in sparring I learned doing effortless movement doesn't work. So there's two sides to this, but to be comfortable when you movement is more of a mindset I'm trying to get you into, so the body will then follow it, okay? It won't think of it as a chore. If I told you right now we were gonna drop to the ground, do 3 push-ups, jump up to a horse stance, do 10 punches, and do 50 low back stances and repeat that 10 times, you're already probably getting a stomach ache and wondering why you showed up today. So the body will tense up as soon as that happens. So I want you to take your horse stance and move it to the point to where you'll be able to kind of drop to the ground a little bit. We're not doing what I just said, but I don't want you to be formally structured because that might come with some baggage. Okay, so I'm going to have my feet slightly out. Put the hands straight out. You're just going to go down and touch the ground, but you're not going to touch the ground. You're going to act like you touch the ground and you're going to come up. Okay, so just ease down. 1, we'll get to the ground in a second. 2, just get the body. 3, and I want this to be comfortable. 4, now your hands can go a little lower. 5, which means you might have to lean a little bit if there's no 6, pressure on your lower back. 7, you can widen your stance out. You can narrow it. 8, just don't lift your heels up off the ground yet. 9, 10. Okay, so the goal next is to get our hands on the ground. Okay, so we can do that by lifting the heels and sinking into a squat, or we can bend forward. The bending forward can be a little bit bad for your back if that's all you're doing, but the truth is you have to kind of do both. So hands out, comfortably reach down, touch the ground, stand back up. Comfortably. Don't fall, control the descent. 1, 2, 3, 4, just do what you can. 5, just flow into it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll just do a little variation. Okay, so step down, touch your knees, and stand up. 1, this way you don't lean forward too much. 2, you can still get as low as you want. 3, 4, pay attention to what you're working, your legs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to do one more set, guys. 10, this time you do either one you want. 1, maybe touch the ground. 2, maybe touch the knees. 3, the ground. 4, the knees. 5, the ground. 6, the knees. 7, the ground. 8, 9, 10. Okay, shake it up. Okay, so now find that position again, the width anyways. Okay, so thereabouts. Take the left leg and just move it forward, straight. It's about what we consider a bow stance, but again, I want you to adjust. I'm going to move my foot back further because we're going to do a lunge. And what I want to do, and it's not how far I go, I want this to be comfortable. I don't want this leg to be going, I want it to anchor. So, heel up, straight. If this is as far as I can go down, the focal point is not to do that. The focal point is to go this anchored in the ground. If you can go down and touch the ground with your knee, great. Okay, so 10 of them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, down, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good idea, 10, put that mat down. I could use one too. Other side. So this is actually kind of difficult for me because I spent a lot of time, once I learned, to punch and to move that knee forward on the punch just a little bit so that my body weight's behind without the commitment. So I have to really force myself to do this as an exercise, not as a martial exercise. So my focal point is all on this leg. Okay, so that leg is anchored in, knee is straight here, and push it back. 1, 2, no forward motion, that's good. 3, your hands can do anything you want. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can go back to the other side, shake it out. So if you're doing that as a strength builder, and you don't want to smash your knee into the ground, the body will start to bounce a little bit and it won't go as low. That's where a pillow or, you know, a block or some sort of, where you can actually rest it and then lift it. That's like flexing and releasing. Other than that, you'll start to bounce. It's a little too low, I'll bounce off the ground. So go down your distance for number set, hold for about a second, and then lift up. So no bouncing. If that means going higher, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, even an inch is okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent, guys. Other side. You know you have this, not the distance, but you know you have the exercise, and you can improve it when you're feeling like you're going down, not working out. So you feel like you're dropping straight down. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we can get that feeling down. Hands up. 1. No leaning forward at all, right? 2. That's awesome. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And shake it out. Okay, so we'll do the last set, and we'll alternate. So we'll go 1, hold it up, 2, up and down. Okay, so find that distance again. So 1 is hold, 1, up. Now 2 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift. Okay. Is 1 hold? Sure. 1 is hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stand up. Okay, pick the leg that was bent and stretch out the front part of it, the top part. Go to the other side, do the same thing. Hands on the knees, knees slightly bent, and hinge at the hips. I use this one to release my lower back. Not a hamstring stretch. I'm just going to kind of let my lower back, making sure it doesn't compress for the next movements. A little bit more distance, a little lower. We're going to bend the knees and go to the ground. And we're taking a second to go through our body, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck. Those are your joints. They all should feel the same. Equally warmed up. Yep. Now go through the muscles. Good. I think we did a good job. Chest muscles and mid-back, not warmed up too much, but that's okay. They don't need as much love as our legs and our hips. Now I go through my heartbeat, then my temperature, and then my breath. And we're going to stand up, shake it out, and we're going to grab one stick. One stick. This happens to be right here in my hand. Good job. You ever have guests come over and they ask you why you have weapons sprawled all across your house?
There's strategical place where only you can see just the back half.
Are you going to say that one more time?
There's strategically placed in the house so only we can see the top half of them. So unless you know what you're looking at,
You're not
you
seeing
just think it's just some weird decoration.
All right. Good, smart thinking. Okay, so now I'm on where to hide weapons and how to hide them in plain sight. Let's forget that's for another day. Grab your stick and let's go ahead and, I know you guys know this, but I like to keep about a hand's grip away. Take your pinky, your last three fingers, okay? Make sure that those are the grippers, and then you can roll these over. We make a fist in the opposite direction as we grab them, okay? We make a fist this way, we grab that way. So this is a good exercise to do. So a lot of times I see the guys with the stick, they'll have such a tight grip here and a really loose grip here, and they kind of use it like a club. But, you know, to each his own. We're gonna go down here. We'll place it here. We know we'll do a step forward with the right leg because the stick is on the right. We haven't done a lot of stick work, so maybe just do a little review. Put the left hand out, and we're gonna angle 1, touch the bicep as a block, and use it as a thrusting back. Number 2, okay, goes down to the hip, and then as it comes back, our hands meet again. Okay, so if you had a partner, your wrists would be touching, then your stick, then your stick, then you reach the hands again and maybe do a little pull. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So training is always what you focus on. Okay, you can be doing the right thing in the wrong way, right? So you can go down like a V and then back up, or you can go straight to the point and then back. And what I choose to focus on this particular motion is the retraction, the thrusting back. I actually visualize striking something behind me, even though I know that's not where my opponent is. That way I don't drift it back and kind of cause a half a strike. It's like when somebody punches in the art and their hand sort of drifts back. The retraction is the most important thing. If you focus on that, the extension takes care of itself. So I use the same thing. So we're going to focus on that. End, like there's a piece of paper behind you, that's a point, and you're popping a balloon. That's a little bit better. Pop, less violent. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now take your hand that's out and place it right here. So a lot of times we get, especially if you know a little bit about weapons and stuff, we know that the whole body is doing stuff, so we kind of make it complicated. So I remember one guy, a teacher of mine, told me, don't worry about what you're doing with the hand that doesn't have a weapon in it until the hand that has the weapon is doing what it's supposed to. That's the order you should learn it. Okay, so if you put it back in here, you don't have to worry about this hand, it just goes. Now it's an easy motion, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Much easier, okay? Now, this hand has to do its own thing, so when I learned this, it liked to do really its own thing. But what I realized is, you know what it does. Let it do it, but make sure that this is doing what it's supposed to. This will figure it out eventually. You know, you might cut your fingers off, but you'll figure it out. So number 1, touch your bicep as you cut. Number 2, touch your hip, and then get your hand back. Okay, number 1, touch your bicep as you cut. Okay, now touch your hip as you, okay, so you got 2 points. The end of the stick in your bicep, okay, the end of the stick in your hip, and then back out. So we'll work this in 2 counts. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now 1 count, 2 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got it. Now spin it around a little bit. Upward motion, so cut up, hook, down, hook. And again on this motion, it's wrist drill, but don't open the back of the hand to get a really fast, you know, it looks good, but as soon as that stick hits something that's out of your hand, grip not too tight, but tight enough to not to let go of it. Up, up, down. Okay, so let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. Other side. 1, 2, oh that's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And since that weapon is in this hand, let's go ahead and set to the left side stance and put the hand out. Actually, let's bring it in. Since I'm not a lefty, let's perfect this left side first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, hand out. Okay, so we'll go bicep, 1, hip, 2, bicep, 1, hip, 2, bicep, hip, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As soon as you get that down and you're really smooth with it, mess it up so that your brain still trains. Once you grab your other stick if you have it handy. That's a busted stick. Okay, so hopefully you kind of do these with each other because it adds a whole component to it, right? The timing on it, doing it in the air is easy, but you don't focus on it and you hit somebody's stick and you don't have a good grip. But I really like this one. I really like starting everybody out with this one, and I know you guys already know this, because it works both sides of the brain really quick. You're crossing your center line, you're activating the right and the left, and very seldom do I ever have a student that tells me that their left and their right hand feels different. They may make mistakes, but I couldn't tell you which right hand is doing what. Whereas if I did flying kicks, I could definitely tell you. Okay, so we're gonna go out to the temple and back. Then we'll go out to the temple and back, get it out of the way. Then we'll come back to the temple and then chamber. Right, now we're gonna step back, step forward with the other leg. Okay, so I'm left forward foot, left hand out. If you're right, you're fine, but just follow along. Okay, now the hand that's at the hip, out. Remember the thrusting back, get it out of the way so you don't hit sticks. Strike. Now when you pull this to chamber it, that's when the foot really should come back. Then you step forward, right, left, right, chamber, left, right, left, chamber, and it goes 1 set to the right, 1 set to the left, 1 set to the right, 1 set to the left, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now just to get the timing down, I know I already taught you guys this before, but we'll do it again. You have the 3 movements, and you need to get quicker. If you always sequence the things the way you learned them, it usually fixes itself if you do thousands and thousands of repetition, but I'm always like, how can we get a little sooner? And the trick that I always learned was, if you have a 3 count, make it a 2 count. When you have a 2 count, make it a 1 count. If you're not leaving things up. So here's 1 motion. Okay, here's number 2, but instead of coming back to here, why not go ahead and add that to it? And then pull it back. Okay, so there's 1, and then it goes hit, strike, and back. And here we go. So right side, 1, left side, right side, left side, and we go 1 set with just that focus point. Other side, and that should take a half a beat out of your motion. Since it's a half a motion, that's considered a half a beat. So it speeds it up without that you're actually having to speed your hands up and smack your stick together and hit yourself in the head. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And finish it. Now we got 2 sticks, so you go down, bang, and then up. And all I'm doing this exercise is to kind of strengthen the wrists and get a little bit fluid sticks. But I'm really doing it to remind myself that the last 3 fingers need to do their job. Okay? That comes into play a lot during stick and knife work. I know the first time I went through a stick routine, trying to learn it or whatever, I thought the idea was to go as fast as you can. For some reason the sticks would never stay in my hand, so I think I might have bought a wrong size. It's like, well, the instructor's going that fast, I need to go that fast. And there's always something you need to work on. You know, elbows in, shoulders back. You focus on too much, you get nothing done. I usually just try to perfect one thing at a time when I'm doing my personal training. That way, if I make an error, I'm not going to beat myself up about it because it wasn't what I was focusing on, but that gave me a clue of what to work on next. Maybe you can do the opposite now. So 1 up, 1 down. Don't think about it. If you think about it, it ain't going to happen. You were just doing this with both hands. Yeah, you can do it one at a time too. You can go up, down, up, down, up, down, or you can do them both at the same time. Anytime I haven't done this for a while, this routine messes me up. I hit myself in the knee, I hit myself in the head. It's the brain. It needs these motions, these opposite motions to maybe turn off and let the body do what it knows. Okay, so right now, if you've been doing this, your arms or forearms should be getting a little pumped. That's the workout anyways. The stick may be getting a little stiffer in your wrist. So what you naturally will start to do is you'll start to break that last finger grip and you'll start to spin. I can't even do that on purpose. You start to spin it around to get the speed back, and that's actually the opposite of what you want to do. Okay, so sticks out, stretch, and let's go ahead and put them up on our shoulders. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, and we can just switch really quick. So it's a high, low, high, switch, high, low, high. So it's a full motion there, half a motion there, and then back. So full motion means it comes all the way back to the other side. This doesn't continue to the full motion here, comes back to where it started, and then this falls all the way through. So that's a follow through, that's a follow through, it's a follow through, that's a half a strike, not a follow through. Okay, so let's use your right hand. So think temple knee, 1, 2, and then back to the temple and through. Other side, 1, 2, 3. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Okay, so now I always like to feel the difference. So this motion and that motion and then this motion. So this and this, you can feel it, what the wrist is doing to get that motion. On the other hand, this is a different, totally a different kind of strike. Okay, so 1, then it comes back and then it cuts. Shift, 1, comes back and cuts. So we'll do another set and just don't think about it, but feel the difference between the middle strike and the other two. Okay, here we go, right side first. 1, left side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a lot of those little things that you may be doing, say, incorrectly or so, if you watch the video or whatever, changes as soon as you pair up with each other. Because if you go 1, 2, and they're going towards your knee, something just happens. Things get fixed automatically. Let's go ahead and let's put one stick down for a second here. You can do this with 2, but I want to just go easy. Let's work on stepping out and turning, but remember our angles. You can go anywhere up and down the clock you really want on these things, but I like to keep consistency for training. The strike is going forward. So normally when I teach this motion, to get the people's hips going, I need you to be in your withdrawal cat this way. But that's not where your opponent is. Could be, but it's not. I want you striking out here, because we're going for this hidden distance, right? So get your hand out of the way, and just step straight out. In my case, that's 3 o'clock, right? Facing, what is that, 9 o'clock. Stick is hitting 12 o'clock. Wow, that's a clock, I can tell time. Repeat that one. Okay, so it goes 1, strike, and you're back to here. Right, and then we're just gonna come right back to here, one at a time. Really work on these angles. Straight out, hit, bang. We're gonna be perfect form today. Okay, we'll do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, remember the last 3 fingers, tight stick. 4, 5. Now if you got that turn to 9 o'clock, keep your nose at 12 o'clock now, where your opponent is. 6, but still turn. 7, 8, 9, 10. And so when I first learned these, I literally taped areas, and I was an instructor, but I taped areas because I have a tendency to see things in my head. I slip over to the side. I see, I guess, somebody attacking. I see how I would attack and how I lunge. So I automatically adjust my training for that. So sometimes points of reference is pretty good. So we've gone to that direction. Now we need to just reverse it. So we go the same way, do the same motion, but now we're going to come across, keeping it that way. This foot comes, it crosses all that direction, and then back to center. Okay, so we go one way this way, and we're going to shoot back over, cut this direction. I always like to be, because I know what I'm going to do next, but I want to really train getting back to here, keeping my nose this direction, then back to center. Okay, so here we go. 1, set, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got it. So on this particular exercise, remember we have the strike and we have a slash. This one should really, because we're turning sideways, should really be a pull, but you want to keep the stick in your hand and not break your chandelier. I raised mine for this particular one. So we're going to do it again, but we're going to put a little bit more whipping motion on it, but not to the point to where you're going to lose the stick, but to the point to where you're a little uncomfortable going that hard, but not so uncomfortable you're losing technique. Okay, so it goes 1, cut, and then set back up. Relax. 2. That's a lot better. That's what I was looking for. 3. 4. I'm hoping that 5. Mr. Jensen is just off screen and not on the floor. Ah, there we go. Okay. 5. Oh, she has a good swing there. I like it. 6. 7. 8. 10. Very good. Okay, as you get faster and faster with that, you get a little wilder. Again, the universe helps you out. You'll smack your knee or something, then you'll back out a little bit. Do them a lot before you go to the iron wood or the hard ones, which you should probably, it's like lifting weights, right? You should probably have a heavy stick, but I wouldn't suggest learning anything with them or pairing up with them for a while. So now number 3, so you're going to go 1, 2, and you're going to come same step, but this time you're going to come upward and around. Okay, so add the first one, the second one, and then the upward cut, which is the reverse of number 1. Okay, and we'll set again. Okay, so obviously the other one is coming up that direction. Okay, so 1, set, 2, and set, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now it comes up underneath to the other side. Okay, so that's number 4. So we'll add that onto it. 1, cut, cut, lift, lift. Okay, so it's just, we'll just do an X pattern, right? Downward X, upward X. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Okay, so I use this exercise a lot to orientate my center line. I'm so used to keeping my center line in my nose where it belongs, forward and straight, that when I like to do this motion here, my nose stays there. This area sort of drifts a little bit. So using the camera there or a mirror, I like to make sure that fully sideways, fully sideways, fully sideways, fully sideways on these motions. Okay, so let's grab your stick, stretch down a little bit, and just release the lower back again. I need to restart my back stretches. Alright, I'm going to stop moving furniture on the weekend. One of those. A little lower. And these. Straighten up. Okay, let's go with, see if we can remember the little stepping pattern we used to do when we used to do the things we used to do when we had a school to go into and we had things on the ground. So we're going to step right leg forward and you just can go 1, left leg forward, 2, to the right side, 3 o'clock, and across, okay, to 9 o'clock, and across the other direction. Now we can step back with the right leg, whatever time that is, slash up. Then we can step forward and then back, and slash up with that. Then we've got the forward step to 12, strike up or down, okay? And then we step back with the other side, and we can come around and strike this direction. Or sometimes we can step it forward and then back. But we're just using the clock, right? Okay, it's just a pattern to kind of memorize it. You can do any, I mean, you can step this direction too. So what is that? 1 o'clock, I guess. So right bow stance, the easiest way to remember it. Cut, left bow stance. Okay, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay, back to 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then forward, stab, strike, back to center. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of messes everybody up when I start counting, and then I'm using the clock as and then I shift my legs like that. Okay, 1 motion, 2 motion, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, down. Okay, forward with the right leg, forward with the left leg, to the right side with the right leg, left side with the left, right leg back, cut up, left leg back, cut, take a step forward, up under the chin, down on the hip, and back. Okay, forward with the right leg, forward with the left leg, to the side with the right leg, to the side with the left leg, back with the right leg, back with the left leg, forward with the left leg under the chin, down, and back. Good pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, down. Got it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do it without the stick so much. Okay, so let's go. Right leg, left leg, side step, right leg, left leg, forward step, backward step. Okay, easy when you take all the complexity of the stick out of it, right? So right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step, right step. In this case, it's the right step again, but it's a leading stance. Okay, so just gonna go forward with the right leg and then back. Okay, then forward with the left leg and then back. Sideways with the right and then back. Always back to neutral, right? Here, back, then you go back, forward, step, and you can again, all the way back, or you can shuffle back, or you can come all the way back. Most of the movements with the stick or the knife are half steps because of the range, right? But the stick will give you greater range so you can do different steps. Okay, so have you guys been pairing up with this, with each other a little bit? Not? Okay. Well,
We spend a lot of time with each other, so we figured we shouldn't come at each other with sticks all the time.
hey, I'm not going there, but I would highly recommend paired up weapons training, not during quarantine. I haven't picked up the stick since the last time the three of us did it before a class. And they're sitting there, and it's all in there, and you see it, and you think, ah, no problem. But you pick it up, and all of a sudden, you're just like, what do I do with this? So it's a good idea that you don't lose, a few minutes if each of you are in a good mood, okay? Oh, wait a minute. You always start with a good mood. It's when the first person hits the first finger and the blame starts flying out. I learned a long time ago that I worked with a partner that kept hitting my fingers. It was at a seminar. I was really, really angry at him. I was about to kill him, I think. And I couldn't even concentrate anymore. And it didn't hurt, but it was really irritating me. And then the instructor came by, and it was all my fault. My angles were all off. So he was actually doing me a favor by hitting. Well, a good partner would have helped you out. This guy was a horrible partner. But I realize that sometimes it takes two when you have a weapon, so make sure the blade comes first the other direction before you point the other one. The stick motions work so much on timing that you can't teach or theorize about and even understand unless the stick is coming towards your temple. All the proper 45-degree angles, hand for support, doesn't matter. When that's there, it seems just to go where it should go. So don't forget it, work with it a little bit. I know you guys got a lot of other things you're working on too, but stick 5 minutes on the weekend should be fine. Okay, that was fun. I needed that stick routine. Pass, up, hey! Okay, there we go.